and then I prayed.
Tonight, the father of this San Diego woman is telling Only 10 News about the terror he felt when he learned his daughter was injured in the deadly mall attack in Kenya. 10 News was the first to tell you about Elaine Dang's injuries yesterday on social media and on 10news.com, and we've been monitoring her progress all day. Good evening, I'm Preston Phillips.
And I'm Itika Malanes. Also today, this new video has surfaced showing the terror inside Nairobi's upscale Westgate Mall as shots rang out inside.
At least 68 people are now confirmed dead and 175 injured, among them 5 Americans, including Elaine Dang. Kenya's military says most of the remaining hostages have been rescued, and now CNN is reporting 3 of the hostage takers are American.
And we'll have more on that in just a few minutes. We begin our team coverage tonight with 10 News reporter Hannah Mullins. She is live in Del Mar tonight with what Elaine Dang's father told Only 10 News about how she is doing today. Hannah.
And you can only imagine her parents must feel helpless nearly 10,000 miles away. Her dad, who actually lives right back here, is grateful for the well wishes and grateful his daughter is one of the lucky ones.
I'm happy when I was, okay.
This dad, who talked first to 10 News, was rocked by the thought of losing his little girl. But Elaine Dang is 26 and she made it through a massacre. She was meeting coworkers at a mall in Nairobi on Saturday when she was caught in this chaos. Terrorists with ties to Al-Qaeda unloaded a flood of gunfire and grenades into crowds of unsuspecting shoppers. Those who weren't hit dodged bullets and crawled to safety. Hundreds ran through streets and over bodies. Elaine was among the nearly 200 hurt.
The chest, look, something metal coming to her chest, and then the arm and the leg.
This is her yearbook photo from Torrey Pines High School. According to her LinkedIn profile, she went on to UC Berkeley, then taught underperforming kids through Teach for America. Her dad, Stephen Dang, says she's a manager at restaurant guide Eat Out Kenya. We were the first to tell you Saturday how she was caught in the massacre at the mall. Sunday morning, 10 News brought you this update as she tweeted, "Proof that I am okay, hanging out with some of my best friends in Nairobi." Then Eat Out Kenya posted this photo of her recovery. She made it through the horror, but now faces the heartbreak. Her dad says she lost 2 of her friends. What was it like when you heard what happened? What went through your heart?
I cried. And then I prayed. Scary. I'm happy when I was, okay.
Now, the sister is leaving LAX tonight for Kenya. We can tell you Dad is asking people to continue praying for those other victims. We're live in Del Mar. Hannah Mullins, 10 News.
And that hostage standoff at the Westgate Mall is now in its 2nd day. Right now, Kenya's military is storming the shopping center, and there are reports they've had some success.
I feel the pain of every life we have lost and share your grief at our nation's loss.
Police and military officials still surround the upscale mall in Nairobi, where a gruesome shooting took place Saturday. Kenya's president said the attackers are still inside the mall, holding people hostage.
They shall not get away with their despicable and beastly acts.
Kenyan officials confirm several gunmen are isolated in one area of the mall and believe they can neutralize the situation. However, Al-Shabaab militants vow they will not negotiate with Kenyan authorities. Soldiers are keeping watch outside the mall with the help of Israeli special forces. President Obama also reached out to Kenya's president Sunday, offering his support and bringing the terrorists to justice. Those who escaped the carnage all had dramatic stories to tell.
Bullets were running over my head.
He shot at my head, but luckily it hit the wall behind me.
Other survivors await critical care for their injuries. Kenya's president visited the injured at their hospital beds.
Be strong.
Yeah, I am.
Huh? You will be fine.
Words Kenya intends to follow as authorities try to bring the gunman to justice and survivors try to recover. And the names of the gunmen involved in the attack were listed on Twitter, and according to CNN, 3 of them are American. The State Department is still working on confirming this information, but said they are becoming more confident American citizens were involved. Stay with 10 News for continuing coverage of this developing story. We'll be monitoring Elaine Dang's condition throughout the night, and we'll bring you the very latest on 10 News at 11 and on 10news.com.
Right now, search teams are scouring the Red Sea for any sign of the 2 missing crew members aboard a San Diego-based Navy helicopter that crashed. We brought this to you as breaking news at 8 a.m. The U.S. Navy says an MH-60S Nighthawk helicopter based out of Naval Air Station North Island went down early this morning. 10 News reporter Jennifer Jensen live near the base tonight with the very latest on this rescue effort. Jennifer.
Well, good evening, Itika. Yes, that helicopter was based right out of NAS North Island. That's just across the bay. If you look over here, just across the bay from where we are standing now. Now, when the helicopter went down this morning, the water temperature was a warm 77 degrees, but still right now, an intense search is underway for the 2 missing people. 3 have already been found. This is a picture of an MH-60S Nighthawk helicopter like the one that crashed early this morning our time. It crashed here on the other side of the globe in the central Red Sea off the coast of Saudi Arabia. However, the exact location of the crash is not being disclosed. The U.S. Navy says it was not due to any sort of hostile activity. The helicopter, assigned to Helicopter Sea Combat Squadron 6, crashed while operating with the guided missile destroyer USS William P. Lawrence. 10 News was at the deployment of the Nimitz Strike Group back in January when it left here at NAS North Island, bound for the Western Pacific. Now, the Nimitz and the strike group are leading the search efforts for the 2 missing people who were on board the MH-60S that crashed. Other ships and helicopters are assisting in the search efforts. So we know that crew members wear immersion or dry suits, which would in the water would keep them warm and buoyant, but still time is of the essence. Now I also checked, and the Red Sea, the time zone is about 10 hours ahead, making it 4 o'clock in the morning right now. So most likely during those search efforts, they're using special night vision goggles to find the 2 missing people who were on board. But of course, they say it's like trying to find a needle in a haystack between your feet. Of course, 10 News is going to stay on top of this very fluid situation and bring you any developments. We are live just across from NAS North Island. Jennifer Jensen, 10 News.
Best of luck in that effort, Jen. New at 6, a man and a woman are behind bars tonight after they carjacked a driver in Chula Vista. Police say the suspects showed a knife and demanded the driver get out of his car. It happened around 1:30 this morning near Church Avenue and F Street. Just before 8 o'clock, officers spotted the stolen Honda seen here in the 100 block of 5th Avenue. The suspects ditched the car, but police quickly found the duo and arrested them.
San Diego police and the FBI are looking for the man who abruptly got off an American Airlines flight, forcing passengers to evacuate. We first brought you the story on 10 News at 8 this morning. You're looking at a live picture now of Lindbergh Field from our downtown Skycam. Airport officials don't know why that passenger left the aircraft, but said he didn't have any carry-ons. The flight was headed to JFK. K-9 units searched the plane, and an hour later it took off.
Another live look outside, this time at downtown. Meteorologist Craig Herrera is in the 10 News Pinpoint Weather Center with what we can expect tonight. Hi, Craig.
Hi there, Itika. Tonight we'll expect some clear conditions, not much in the way of fog, and certainly none of those light showers that passed through last night. Different changes are all happening within the next 24 hours, and we're looking live right now over Coronado. The wind has been picking up as well at about 5 to 10 miles per hour on the lower side of your screen. You can see some of the palm trees blowing around. At this hour, 12 miles per hour at Lindbergh, at about 5 in Alpine, 9 in Ramona. Those are sustained winds. Here's Futurecast wind. Notice the direction of the arrow starts to switch and come out of the north and northeast beginning at midnight, and that is going to be a warming trend for us. Your evening planner for the rest of the night, mostly clear along the coast. Midnight we get some patchy fog. Evening planner for the inland locations back into the 60s. And coming up in a bit, we'll talk about how much we are going to warm and how long it will last.
A series of small quakes rattled an area just north of the San Diego Riverside County line this morning. The first was a magnitude 3.4. That one struck around 6:10 a.m. about 7 miles southeast of Anza. The quake that followed was a magnitude 2.5 that hit 8 minutes later. Within 3 hours, another 10 microquakes were reported.
Right now, one of several passengers seriously hurt when this tour bus crashed Thursday in Valley Center is recovering from surgery on her broken ankle, one of several bones she broke as a result of this crash. Last night at 11, her husband Mike talked with 10 News over the phone from his hospital bed. He claims the driver of the bus contracted by Harris Casino was going nearly double the posted speed limit when it crashed.
The news media was originally told that the bus driver was doing 30 miles an hour and that there were no serious injuries on the bus. Well, as you can understand from my story, it's quite the contrary.
Mike says he's being discharged from Palomar Medical Center today and is currently consulting lawyers about filing a lawsuit.
A man shot by a police officer after he rushed toward the cop with a pair of scissors is still in the hospital tonight. Cell phone video shows the moments after the man was shot yesterday, then arrested by police in Pacific Beach. It all started when police got a call about a man threatening people with a sharp object. The name of the officer has not been released, but we have learned he has been with the San Diego Police Department for 6 years.
A controversial event is underway right now in the Gaslamp Quarter. This is the poster advertising San Diego's one and only Asian bar crawl and costume party. It's been organized by several Asian restaurants downtown to be their version of an Irish pub crawl. However, 10 News spoke to one group this week which is calling for a boycott, saying the event and the poster in particular are racist and sexist. The festivities run through midnight tonight.
Well, you can expect some delays tonight if you plan on using the South Bay Expressway. Some seal maintenance is being done on the toll road as well as the on and off ramps, which will be closed intermittently. The 125 will have at least one lane open each way at all times. Road work should be done by Monday. Today, hundreds got the rare chance to step aboard the USS Ronald Reagan.
I'm blown away. You know, that the technology, the size of this ship, I'm just mind-boggling.
Next to New at 6, why this special occasion was almost canceled. Craig?
And 10 News Futurecast reveals when will warm 5 to 10 degrees and how long it'll last before that cold wind blows back on in.
Welcome back. One of San Diego's most popular events almost didn't happen this year.
That's right. Fleet Week has been celebrated here since 1935, but federal budget cuts forced organizers to scrap the entire event until the Fleet Week Foundation stepped in with $400,000 to keep the tradition alive. And today, hundreds of people got the rare opportunity to step aboard a working aircraft carrier.
Welcome aboard, welcome aboard.
Hundreds of people got the rare chance to step onto the USS Ronald Reagan Sunday.
I love the Navy.
Del Batia has waited almost a decade for this honor.
When in 2004, when USS 76 named Ronald Reagan was decided to be stationed in San Diego, I wanted to see it so badly.
The working aircraft carrier was on display as part of San Diego Fleet Week.
it's an honor to be able to do this.
Bob Peck flew in the Navy's anti-submarine squadron in the 1960s. He says military life today is completely different.
I'm blown away. The technology, the size of this ship, I'm just mind-boggling.
I absolutely highly encourage you to jump up in the chair and get a picture on the captain's chair.
And then to see these young men and women serving our country, they're so proud, and it makes me proud to be an American.
Oh, it's extremely important for the American public to see where their U.S. tax dollars are going or where those U.S. tax dollars are being spent. And I can't think of a better ship to do that than the USS Ronald Reagan.
The experience was interactive for both the guests and crew members.
The crew loves it when people come on board and tour the ship. They love basically telling the Ronald Reagan story, they love telling America's story, and they love just letting people know, hey, this is, where I serve. This is how I serve my country.
Every other fleet week in the U.S. was canceled this year because of federal budget cuts. San Diego is the only city that hosted it after getting special permission to do so.
Very cool. New at 6, around 1,000 San Diegans gathered at the Ocean Beach Pier today for an annual tradition supporting clean oceans. They swam out on boogie boards and surfboards for the 22nd annual Paddle for Clean Water. It's organized by the Surfrider Foundation. This year's focus was on the danger of plastics to the environment.
We only have one world, and we want to get it. We want to protect our world. And if it's not you, who else is going to do it?
As you could hear in the background, there was some live reggae music. People walked around booths and displays, but of course, the highlight was getting in the water.
So a few clouds there, but nothing major at all. Just an amazing day to be out on our beaches today, Craig.
Beautiful. The wind was enough to really get rid of all the cloud cover. We had the tail end of a front pass through late last night. Cleared out the skies by about 10 o'clock most locations, and the sunshine was nice. Still out there, and at times that flag keeps picking up from the wind. You can see it now. At times continues to blow around from the west wind coming on through. Right from Mountain Woodston looking off to the northeast, not much in the way of fog tonight. I don't think we're going to see much of it at all, just patchy at times. Mid-70s, most locations, and we've dropped to a couple of upper 60s along the beaches. Higher elevations are also in the 60s. We've got 64 Ramona and 68 in Ramona, rather 64 right into Julian. Now, big picture, here's what we got. Lots of dry air down to our south. Storms are starting to pass to the north. We're starting to change. Seasons are changing. The jet stream's starting to come farther south, and we're starting to see some things lined up. So the area of high pressure is starting to build down to our south and west. Not as strong. We're starting to see an offshore wind tomorrow. Not as strong, but it's still in place, and that'll warm us up a good 5 to 10 degrees from where we were today. But we have been running 5 to 10 degrees below average. So tomorrow we're actually closer to normal. Then you've got a couple of storms lined up in here. You can see just starting to make one out here. That makes a beeline for San Diego starting on Tuesday evening. So we start to transition Tuesday. By Wednesday, a very cold wind blows on in. You will notice it Wednesday. Some cold air blowing on in, and the temperatures drop another 5 to 10 degrees. So this warm up we have on Monday will last one day. We slowly cool on Tuesday and then really cool on Wednesday. Wind futurecast 1:30 p.m. A little bit of a sea breeze right along the coast, but you head inland a good 5 to 10 miles. You've got a good offshore wind coming through at 10 to 15 miles per hour. That's where the warming will come from. We go now into Tuesday, all the wind starts to switch and we see more of a west wind coming on through, and that's why we're going to start to cool off starting on Tuesday. But Wednesday is when you'll notice the big changes coming around. Your overnight lows, 50s, great way to start the morning. I love these cool, crisp mornings. You can really enjoy some nice sleeping weather. Highs tomorrow, we're back into the 80s in some of the warmer spots. 79 in San Diego, lots of mid and upper 70s along the coast. Extended forecast for the next 7 days, a little warmer tomorrow, back to normal really. Then we cool off on Tuesday. Big changes on Wednesday as that storm passes into Northern California, and we drop back to 72 by the time we get into Thursday in some of the warmer spots. So 88 tomorrow, back to 72 after that.
Wow.
Middle of the week. Yeah, exactly.
Well,
big changes going through.
Right.
I like it.
Thank you, Craig.
Yeah.